What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Fast. Today, let's get started with Tim Welch downplays Umar Nurmagomedov's injury reveal before UFC 311. Coach Tim Welch doubts Umar Nurmagomedov would fight UFC bantamweight champion Merab Dvalishvili severely injured. Nurmagomedov let it slip that he recently fractured his arm and that both his manager and brother, Usman, advised him against fighting Dvalishvili in January. However, Nurmagomedov insisted on competing before Ramadan starts, which Welch believes means he should be fit enough to compete. They know they're going to get the title shot eventually, so I don't think he's going to be that hurt. I think he's probably going to be more healthy and more ready than people think. And yeah, it's like I said, for these title shots, it's like, for some people, you'll get one title shot your whole career, the rest of your life. For Umar with his last name, I feel like even if he lost this Merab fight, he wins 2 more, he's back in the title picture. So I don't think that's the case. I don't think they're like, you're going to get one shot at this title, Umar, and you're never going to get one again, so you have to take it even if you're injured. I think he's not that injured, and they're really confident with this match. Nickal boasts of clear advantages over Khamzat Chimaev in potential UFC fight. UFC middleweight standout Nickal remains confident in a potential matchup against Khamzat Chimaev. He also thinks with Chimaev's explosive starts, such as when he quickly submitted Robert Whittaker at UFC 308, he'll eventually slow down when he fails to keep him on the mat. I don't think there's really a guy in the world at 86 kilos that can beat me in wrestling. I think that he's good, he's got skills, but his biggest thing that's going to crush him, especially in a fight against me, is, man, you're going to get tired. You're going to go like this down, and I'm going to go like this up as the fight goes on, and you're not going to take me down, which is your best attribute, so you're going to have to strike with me. I'm probably going to be able to take you down. Maybe I don't hold you down on the ground forever, but I can hold you down there for a little bit, and the longer the fight goes, the worse it's going to get. Islam Makhachev tells his side of Nate Diaz water bottle incident backstage at UFC 311 press conference. UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev was recently involved in an altercation with Nate Diaz, but assures he did not instigate the incident. He doesn't even know what set Diaz off. Next day, they put me close to the cage. I sit with Dana, and Dana come to me and said, "You are troublemaker." I said, "Hey Dana, it's not my fault." We sit before the fight day. I had press conference, fighters have official weigh-in. We sit, and Diaz started to show them a middle finger. For what? Maybe for someone it's good, no problem, but it's not our style. Makhachev explained one of his teammates was wearing a mask, and perhaps Diaz thought it was Khabib covering his face, but it was not him. The situation quickly fizzled, but Makhachev didn't fully understand why Diaz would do something like that, even if it was Nurmagomedov. You know what's interesting, maybe 5-6 months ago, I meet Diaz in the elevator in the Wynn Hotel in Las Vegas. He goes to cross to me and says, "Respect, respect, respect," and just walked. But what changed now? When a lot of cameras come, people change. We don't have something, I don't know. If I have something with him, I can fix it in the Wynn Hotel, but he come to me, like 2 meters, and said, "Respect, respect," and then he go. But when camera come, things change, you know. And people think I start this, I'm not starting this. Chris Curtis reveals time he cashed in goodwill with UFC to decline Alex Pereira. Chris Curtis considers himself to be a fighter's fighter who will test his talents against any UFC opponent. However, there has been an exception. Curtis said the offer to face Pereira came through in the first half of 2022, when Alex was making his rise through the middleweight division. Although he was in the infancy of his UFC career at that point, Curtis still knew it was the right idea for him to stay away, especially because the offer was within a situation where he wouldn't have had a full training camp. I don't care about any particular matchup. I'm just here doing things. I like Kevin. I'm hoping he wins. I'm a Kevin Holland fan. I'm always hoping he wins. If they put it back together, fine. If not, whatever. I'm just here to fight people. I don't usually say no unless your name's Alex Pereira, then I've definitely said no. Outside of that, I'm just here to fight people. So whatever comes up, comes up. I just want to have fun fights. I met him in New York in Madison Square Garden. We were in the elevator and I was like, "What size are you?" People who don't know Alex Pereira don't realize how big this man is in real life. Ex-UFC champ Cain Velasquez explains why he doesn't see Tom Aspinall beating Jon Jones. Many see Tom Aspinall as the guy to beat Jon Jones in MMA. Cain Velasquez, former UFC heavyweight champion, doesn't see Jones losing to Aspinall should they meet in a UFC heavyweight title unification bout this year. Velasquez has seen some things in the Englishman's game, and he's sure Jones has seen them too. No, I don't think he does. Me just watching him, I kinda see his pattern a little bit in his striking, the way he comes in and strikes. I think Jon sees it too. Again, Jon studies, man. He does his homework, you know. He's a master at this. He analyzes things and studies things over and over again. I think just for that reason, he's going to know what to do. I don't think he beats Jon. No. Everybody has a fight pattern, and he has a fight pattern. Some disguise it better than others. Aspinall does have a pattern that's somewhat easier to find when he comes in and strikes. He comes in, glides in, lunges in, and does his attack. Not that is not effective, it is. He's done great things with it. Look at where he's at now. But I think the type of guy that Jon Jones is, I think he studies him and beats him because of that. Chael Sonnen shares his boldest UFC prediction for 2025. Chael Sonnen's boldest prediction for 2025 involves UFC heavyweight champion Jon Jones. UFC CEO Dana White guaranteed that Jones fights Aspinall in 2025, and if the matchup materializes, Sonnen says it'll be the final time Jones makes the walk. If you wanted my boldest prediction of 2025, I'm actually very confident in the prediction, and that is that Jon Jones retires. I will tell you that Jon Jones is going to fight Tom Aspinall. I will tell you Jon's going to do a lot better with Tom than some people are giving him credit for, but that's tomorrow's discussion. When that fight is done, win or lose, I do believe it will be Jon's final appearance. He's been looking for a way out. He's been kind of talking to the fans and seeing what do I need to do before I go. He thought Stipe might be that door out, but that got delayed a little bit. I think Jon does have a pretty clear deal with the audience right now that there's only one left for me, and I think that's going to be Tom, and I do think that will be a goodbye for Jones. Colby Covington loves the idea of a fight against Michael Chandler. Colby is fresh off his return to the octagon last month in the main event of UFC Tampa. Stepping up on short notice, Colby Covington faced rising contender Joaquin Buckley. While the former interim champion hoped to earn a title shot with a win, he was largely battered by New Mansa. Like Colby Covington, Iron is fresh off a return to the cage. In November, the former UFC title challenger ended a 2-year hiatus and was handed a unanimous decision loss by Charles Oliveira. Afterward, Chandler showed interest in a move to 170 pounds to meet Covington. Speaking in a recent interview, Colby Covington was asked about a future bout against Michael Chandler. There, Colby seemingly relished in the idea. If that's the fight the UFC wants, then I love that fight. I hope it comes to fruition. But I don't know if it will. I think he's all talk. I don't think he's any walk. How do I see the fight going? It's a very easy fight. I see me breaking his will if it's 5 rounds. For sure he's not hanging out. I just see him quitting. Him breaking like in the Dustin Poirier fight. Chael Sonnen cast doubt on Conor McGregor's UFC return. Chael Sonnen recently opened up about Conor McGregor's MMA career and cast doubt that fans will ever see him return to the octagon. He noted that it has been difficult to get the Irishman to compete and doesn't believe a comeback will materialize this year. The former 2-division champion has been linked to a bout against Michael Chandler for 2 years. However, the promotion has yet to officially announce when their bout will take place. It has been postponed and rescheduled due to various circumstances, including McGregor's press obligations for his film debut and an injury that forced him out of UFC 303. Despite UFC CEO Dana White claiming the Irishman could return this year, the former middleweight title challenger isn't convinced and actually believes he's retired. The sport is more fun when Conor's around, but no, we can't get him in the ring. 0% chance. Conor will not fight again. When Conor pulled out of the fight with Chandler, it was akin to saying, "I'm retired." Whether he knows it or not, his career ended that moment.